Hello everybody, welcome to another Junk Journal with me video. This video I'm going to start off this little journaling session. I bought myself some dies recently, well when I say recently, fairly recently, and I'd done a test die cut with each one of them and I just wanted to use each one of those in my journal. But while I remember, before you ask me for links, two of the dies I bought on eBay, like from like a person, not a shop, if you know what I mean, so I can't really link those. That is this one I'm using now, that this sort of frame pocket die, and the ticket stub die as well. But the other die I'm using is like the vintage slide die. You'll see it in more detail in a bit. That one I did buy like from a company new, so I will be able to link that. It's the I did write it down because I keep forgetting the name. It is the Creative Expressions Sam Paul Vintage Slide Die. So there it is, but you'll see it again properly in a minute. But first off, I'm playing with that sort of large frame pockety one. I measured the space to get the size, or a rough idea of the size that would fit into that little frame space, and I had some packaging which was pretty perfectly sized for that, so I'm using that. I just cut the branding off the top and rounded the corners, and then covered the most of the branding on the back with the little negative part of the die that cut out from the middle part of the frame. The page I'm working on is like a smaller page of some music manuscript paper, but to make the background a little more interesting when you pull out the little journaling card spot, whatever you want to call it, I've just added some vintage paper, book pages, and some ripped up washi in the background. Again, as I said, just to make the background a bit more interesting when you pull that little part out of it. And leftover bits of washi I'm just adding around the edges there to, again, make it a little bit more interesting, make it a little bit more my own. Now I'm going to stick this down with red line tape on each of the little flappy bits later on. I always forget this. Red line tape works with most things perfectly, apart from certain types of washi. You know, the slightly shinier washi. It doesn't stick on that, so I do have to go back and fix that later on. But yeah, it's one of those things, like, do you have one of those things that you always forget every time you do it, whether it's like adhesive related or whatever, like you forget every time that that thing doesn't work until you then go and do it again. You go, why does my brain not retain this information? But anyways, so yes, punched out a tab to put on the top of that little pull out bit so you know it's something to pull out, and I'm going to come back and do the journaling on that a little bit later. But here I am playing with that vintage slide die, again the Creative Expressions Sam Paul one. So it has like the main part of the die, and then it also cuts out like a little film strip, film slide type thing that you can slide into that space. So I'm going to put a tiny weeny bit of journaling on that little separate piece and just do some basic decoration on the main frame-ish part of the die itself with some stamping. These stamps here, annoyingly for you, obviously not for me, these are all gifts, so I can't link those either, but they're fairly sort of generic, vintagey, handwriting-y, ticket stub kind of looking stamps. They're quite easy to find in all sorts of shops and eBay and AliExpress and all that kind of place. But yes, I had this little photo that I printed on my HP sprocket, like half size of the HP sprocket, that was lying on my desk ready for me to use for something. It's a picture of a t-shirt I bought, which I love. Where did I buy it from? It's like a literary themed shop and I can't think of the name of it. It's totally poof fallen out of my brain, but it just says I incite this meeting to rebellion, quote Emmeline Pankhurst, and I love it. So I put that on the front and I wrote about it on the back. And I'm adding this little piece of twine because the vintage slide die has these little holes in, and in all the pictures of people using them, they always like put little metal chains or something, just something through those little holes. So I had to put something through it, I don't know. And also the little pocket I was putting it in my journal, a pre-made pocket, it would have maybe got a little bit lost in there if there wasn't something obvious kind of hanging out showing you like there is something to pull out here. I'm just decorating the back of it with some very, very simple collage of washi and some book paper and a vintage stamp. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of simple decoration to the front of this pocket as well. And then it was annoying me, this always annoys me, pockets like that when you can see the inside of them and they're stark white. I don't like it. I can't say why, I don't like it. So big old massive piece of super wide washi, just so it's not that horrible stark white. Yeah. It looks so much better with something more interesting going on in the background. Anyway, with the picture being a quote by Emmeline Pankhurst, I thought bringing in my Edwardian elegance collection would work, so just one of those lady stickers. I chose the one that I thought looked the most suffragette-y in my eyes anyway, the one that looked like, you know, you could really see her in suffragette meetings or something like that. And a little sticker from the Tim Holtz clippings that says she stood her ground, which I thought worked really, really nicely as well. And then I'm going to move on to using this little vintagey ticket stubs die as well. I'm doing a lot of sort of little bit journaling in this video, and I'm starting to do more of that in general, rather than sitting down and making a whole big double page spread. I find it more enjoyable personally to just do little bits here and there, and then the whole thing, there's a fly flying in my face. What was I saying? Yeah, and then the whole journal sort of really comes together eventually, rather than really, as I said, sitting down thinking about the whole double page spread thing. I'm not saying there's anything negative or bad about that, but sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming and stressful, and especially for content creators and business owners such as myself, there's so much pressure to have these perfect photos that are also showing your products and marketing at the same time, and you have to think about all these things about your business, and sometimes it's just like, leave me alone, just want to do some simple journaling. So that's what I'm trying to do at the moment, do little bitty pieces of collage and little bitty pieces of journaling here and there, and add in stickers and scraps and as bits of stamping, just all the things that make me happy, trying to put less pressure on myself to make those perfect Instagram photos. And I'm sure to some of you that sounds really, really shallow, but when you have a small business, it's a really hard slog. Sometimes you do have to think about content, you do have to think about marketing, there's no two ways about it, you have to do that. So taking a step back and just being like, I'm taking a minute off from being a small business. I'm having a minute to myself. Thank you very much. And that's also actually what I'm going to end up journaling about on that little journaling card I pulled out, and doing collage on the back just so it looks pretty, and then general journaling on the front. I also found a little scrap of lace that I thought looked cute to kind of just staple it onto the side of the journaling card so it's obvious that it pulls in and out of that little pockets, because once the pocket's all covered in bits and pieces, it's not so obvious that there's something there to be pulled out, so that's why I added that. But yeah, as I said, I'm sure some of you think like it's probably really shallow and stuff to always have to think about marketing, but it's just, you really do have to, because when you don't do it, you don't get any orders. You don't get any orders, you don't get any income. You don't get any income, well, you know the end of that story. So I don't know, it's like you get so much of that stuff on social media, like, oh, you should only journal for you, and you should only, don't care about the likes, don't care about the engagement. And it's like, well, that's all well and good for you, but I'm trying to make a living over here. So anyway, I'm ending up having another rant. I swear I just end up ranting in all of my videos. I'm so sorry. This is why I'm different from all the other junk journalers, because so many of the junk journaling channels, you get like the lovely background music and them telling you about the lovely things they did. And I'm not mocking anyone or anything like that, I promise you. I watch those videos all the time. I really enjoy them. But clearly, those are not the kind of videos I make. I do stuff in my journal and I rant at you. Sorry about that. Anyway, that was that moment there that I realised the red line tape was not sticking on the shiny washi tape, so I added some glossy accents to that. Glossy accents is my go-to for when all other forms of adhesive have failed. And then I wanted to do a little simple something. I'd used up my little dies that I wanted to use in the little journaling session, but I really wanted something on the back of that little pocket, which is actually part of a little gift bag, sweet bag, packaging bag thing. It's yellow. Yellow's not really my kind of colour. I tried to work with it, but I couldn't. I wasn't feeling it. So I've covered it with a really big bit of washi. The thing I've put on top of it is something I used years and years ago. I had a little mini pocket Filofax, and I kept all my really small teeny weeny sticker sheets and samplers in there, and it was just made out of punched bits of card with little mini pockets in them. And I recently put that Filofax on eBay, but I kept all the nice little card inserts that I made. Not all of them, some of them I have just chucked in the recycling, but the ones that I really liked, like that one which had the nice vintagey feel, I just kept for myself. So I've stuck that on. Again, I used the glossy accents because it was going on top of that washi. Added a little sticker cluster. Oh, and then I added another little sticker to the little frame section just because I thought it would look nice to have a little something on there. And then I pulled out this tag, and I'm going to have that to stick in that little pocket and just add some basic decoration to the front and back of it, and then add this awesome thing. It came as a freebie in an order from Etsy. It was from, is it Crafty Alley or Crafty Alley Cat? Crafty Alley Cat, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, it was a freebie, and it's this little fold out thing, and it says on the front, it says it's something like "Open me for the magic word," and then you open it, and then just in big bold black letters it says "No," and I adore it. I love it. Brilliant, genius, mwah, chef's kiss, perfection. Had to include it in my journal, of course. So on the front of that tag, simple little collage with some bits and scraps from my desk, and then on the back making a feature of that "Open me for the magic word" thing, because as I said, I adore it. Those stickers I'm using there, they are little stickers made from the vintage ads and stuff that are available as printables in my shop. I haven't made the stickers available. There it is, the no. I haven't made them available as a purchase because I did ask a long time ago if people wanted them as stickers and nobody replied, so I took that as a no, but I still make them for myself because I use them. And then a little sticker that says "Sorry, not sorry" from the Tim Holtz snarky comment stickers, just to go above that no thing, because again, I adore it. And then I thought I was finished, but I still felt like making more things. I was in a creative mood, and there was more things I wanted to journal about, just, you know, thoughts in my brain that I needed to get onto paper. So I thought what I would do is choose a page, make a collage on it, and then add journaling to it. And that's basically what I'm going to do. So that little thing there that says like the Bond Street, something like that, Liverpool, that those are the journal cards from my Victorian Portraits collection. Then I'm going to pull out this lady from the Things to Cut Out and Collage book. She's kind of standing there like, whoa, back off, and that'll make sense when you see how the page comes together. There's also a little scrap, I think, was it in the last video or the video before? I'm not 100% sure, but I basically made like a collage master sheet kind of thing. That is from that, and then I'm going to pull out a couple of things from the antiquarian sticker book. The way I work with these sticker books, because they're so big and there's so many stickers in there, they can be quite overwhelming to use. So I'll go through, I'll pull out 3 or 4 stickers. I won't think about it too much, just let the sticker catch my eye, as it were, pull it out, and then I stick it on something that it won't stay, you know, stuck to. Like there, it's on the lid of an ink pad, or I stick it on my plastic heat tool, or, you know, something like that, just so it's ready to go and use, and I don't have to keep going back and through the book, because as I said, I just find that a bit stressful and overwhelming. To add a bit of colour to the page, I took some Heidi Swap Colour Shine in the colour Raspberry. That is now discontinued, so I won't be able to link it, but obviously many similar things you can find in that sort of colour. I didn't spray it on. I used the nozzly thing as a paintbrush and, you know, made a mess in the background, really. Then I'm going to add all of my collagey elements, adding glue to the stickers from the antiquarian sticker book because they're not very sticky, and I always add glue to them to be on the safe side. Then I went to the snarky stickers again from Tim Holtz, but these are the big ones, and I chose the sticker "You smell like drama and a headache, please get away from me," and put that on there because I thought it went well with the lady who's standing there kind of going, "Get away from me." So yeah, thought that worked. And backing that phrase sticker onto some vintage book paper to help it blend in with the collage a little more. And then I also wanted, of course, to add some journaling, but I didn't really have a space for journaling, so doing one of my new favourite things to do, which is to add journaling to vellum and then stick it over the top, so you can still kind of see what's underneath. I don't know, it's just an effect I really, really like. It looks really nice. Only thing I don't like about it is I can't really use my fountain pens, because fountain pens and vellum, not best friends. The best pens I've found for this are the Pigma Micron pens. Anything that's sort of like permanent, rollerball, something like that, you know. Ballpoints aren't great because they tend to smudge on vellum. But anyway, so I added my journaling to that vellum. I've stapled it to the top, so you can put something else underneath maybe later on if I really wanted to. But yeah, it was just a page I felt like throwing together, making a mess, sort of an art journaly collagey kind of page. I really, really like that one. Actually, I really like the way that ended up. But all of the things I've done in this session, ha, there's that no again, adore it. Yeah, as I said, all the things I've done in this journaling session, I really liked and I really enjoyed. And I think that was because I wasn't thinking about it too hard and just enjoying the process of doing little itty bits of collage journaling all over the place. And yes, okay, that's enough. I'm going to shut up now. Thank you so, so much for watching. Relevant links in the description as always. Please, please, please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Chat to me down in the comments. And yeah, I am going. Thank you again. Bye-bye.